Yes, today we are going to discuss about the inquiring for planning lesson design, the transaction of SCRT model lesson plan. So, all we know that the learners establish or get the knowledge from the previous knowledge, what he known or what he gained in the previous classes. So, the SCRT model, which is suggested or proposed a transaction model of lesson in the classroom, also focused on we should focus, the teacher has to focus the transaction of lesson with where the learner is in the content. So it has focused mainly on the beginning of the lesson transaction. So every teacher must begin the lesson uh, with where the student is. That means up to what level or up to what content or up to which standard or up to which level the student has the knowledge, or at what level the knowledge is existed among the students. So from there the teacher has to plan its uh, transaction of lesson. So it is focused on the beginning. The teacher has to start the lesson from where the learner is, so we should consider what are the objectives of the lesson and how we can transact the teaching learning process in the classroom situation with the learner, that is called objective of the lesson. So in achieving the objective process, the teacher has to start the process to make the students get progress from one moment to the next moment. So the set of events of instructional should be planned by the teacher or designed by the teacher properly. These are called the set of planned activities or a set of instructional events for effective learning by the learner is called objectives of the lessons, we can say. So we have discussed already the lesson plan steps, that is universal, uh, but the SCERT has proposed or suggested a transaction of lesson plan, a specific model which is useful and which we are using in our Telangana state also, the SCRT model in preparation of books and in this lesson plan writing also. Some what is that model we are going to learn now. So it has listed some points in the model, the SCRT model. This is called a transaction of lesson of SCRT model. The first one, if you take the gaining of attention, here we have started in the lesson plan motivation, greetings, all these things, greetings, testing the previous knowledge, next brainstorming, mind mapping, then we went to the topic declaration. Here this is also beginning, gaining the attention, means we should make the students to turn his concentration towards the lesson or towards the attention of the towards the teaching style of the teacher, and informing the learner of the objective. So what we are going to learn, why we are going to learn of this particular content should be informed to the student by the teacher in the beginning. That means here that is called topic declaration. So the gaining attention is covers all the three gettings, testing the previous knowledge, brainstorming, and mind mapping. So the second step, informing the learner of the objective is called here declaration of the topic or topic declaration, why we are going to do it, and stimulating recall of the prerequisite learning, that means we have discussed already, that is testing the previous knowledge, and presentation the stimulus material, means whatever material can be used for stimulation of the students to present a content, that should be presented in the right sequence to motivate or stimulate the students in the classroom situation. Then after providing the learning guidance, here we can say that this is the things we can give guidance to the students how to learn this content by using the teaching learning activities or learning activities through field trips or classroom interaction or whatever it may be. Next, listing performance. So we should try to encourage the students to develop their performance using the teaching learning activities. This is called seeing the performance of the learner, providing feedback about the performance correctness. Some students will come with the results or the solutions, and in this stage the teacher has to make the corrections or give the feedback about the performance of the students and make them correct if they are wrong. This is about this step, and here this is called comes under the presentation and all these things, presentation, generalization, whatever it be, this is comes under the developmental activities of our lesson plan. And addressing the performance, assessing the performance, then means this comes under the third part of our lesson plan. Always during the lesson transaction, also we during the teaching learning process also, always the student should be measured, should be assessed by the teacher, and enhancing retention and transfer. So whatever students learns, that they have to retain in their mind, and we should make them to transfer whenever it is required, means whenever the student requires a formula or whatever it may be, that should be transferred to solve the problems of the problems in the content. So this is another step, we can say make objectives of the topic unambiguous and very clear to the students. There should not be any doubt about the objective, what the student is going to learn. That should be very clear to the students, why they are going to learn and what they are going to learn and what they are going to do to learn the topic. That should be very clear, and they should not get any doubt about the objective of the lesson and the objective of the content to be learned. So this is about this one. Establish the need for the learning the topic by highlighting in its usefulness. So here always when we are teaching in the classroom, we should make the students alert by explaining the importance of the particular content which has been teaching in the classroom. So why they are going, where this content is useful to the student in his real life always, or where this content is useful to solve the problems or utilize the content to solve or learn other contents in the syllabus or in next class. Always that should be focused and explained to the students by highlighting the importance of the content to be learned, have been learning at the present. So this is called establish the need for learning the topic by highlighting its usefulness. And one more thing, make objectives of the topic unambiguous and all these things, and we are saying that we have to establish the highlighting the usefulness. So what way we can make the students to highlight by using the usefulness. First, we should make the students to explain the need for learning of the topic for present purpose of the topic. In what way? The present, we should know why, we should know what is the need to learn this topic for the present purpose of the topic at the class, in the classroom. And we should make the students to know the need of the topic for future purpose of the topic. So in the future, that means in the next class or in the next unit, what the need of this topic learning for the future topic. And the third thing is correlation of the other subjects. That means in what way this content learning is useful to learn other subjects. Then what are the advantages of learning this present content to make the student to learn easily the other subjects. That is called correlation of the other subjects. This is we should make the student attend to, we should make the student to know the importance or needful use or useful use of the topic for the present purposes of the topic, for the future purposes of the topic, and correlation of the topic. Exercise C. Students need to know the progress they have made. This can be expected to answer their curiosity, interest, and enthusiasm for further learning. So every time the student should get the idea and should know how far he learned, how far he has to learn, how far he has learned, and how far he has to learn. That means the outcome of the student, the output of the student should be assessed and informed to the learner to enhance the curiosity, interest, next other things which makes or stimulates the students to learn the topics actively, and make provisions for reward in order to satisfy the students' need for recognition, avoid punishments. And we should provide the rewards, that means gifts or whatever it may be, which can encourage or satisfy the learning of the students. You should be encouraged. So if the student gives right answers and comes with the good solutions, automatically we should make them appreciate, and we should make them to feel happy, or we should recognize the students in front of his classmates by encouraging. That means in forms of rewards, means what the gifts or whatever it may be, in the token of his success. And we should not give any punishment to the students even though they did mistakes in the process of learning. This is about that things. The next one is create competitive situation in the academic work for students in the areas of project work and assignment. So we should encourage the students to learn the things and do the things and exhibit the things in a innovative way. With this, we should make the students to learn the things in the innovative way. They should come with some innovative ideas, but that should not spoil the atmosphere or friendly nature among the students. They should be useful to establish the creativity among the students and it should make the students to create competitive spirit among the students to attend the projects work and completion of assignments. So we should make the students to learn in a competitive situation, and we should use the teaching learning aids. So definitely without the teaching aids or teaching learning materials, we should not teach any concepts in the classroom. So the utilization of the TLM or teaching learning material teaching aids are very essential to utilize in the classroom situation. Then use of effective communication, that should be most important. Means the teacher should have the conceptual clarity, that means what the teacher wants to teach. The concept should be very clear to the students, that should be communicated easily to the learners, then only the task or the objective of the content to be taught will be fruitful. So these are some elements in the model of SCRT for lesson transaction of a lesson, we can say. So using these elements, if you prepare the lesson plan, automatically the lesson plan will be very good. And if you use that lesson plan to make the students to learn any content, that should be very delightful to the students and useful to the students. So always that should be learned by the student and teacher. So this is the most useful model of SCRT for transaction of lesson in the regular classroom, and the textbook and everything is designed on the model of SCRT only.